Welcome, friends, to another episode of today's Panchtantra for ancient wisdom and its relevance even today. The crows and the owls feud, the dangers of blind trust and the value of wise counsel, retelling the fable. In a vast, lush forest where the sunlight streamed through the thick canopy and the air was alive with the sounds of nature, two rival clans coexisted, though coexistence was perhaps too generous a term. The crows and the owls were bitter enemies, each perpetually plotting against the other. By day, the crows, dark and cunning, swooped down on the owls' nests, pecking and stealing wherever they could. By night, when the forest was shrouded in shadows, the owls retaliated with silent, deadly precision, targeting the crows while they slept. The Crow King, Megavan, ruled his clan with pride and authority. Across the forest, in a hidden cave, the Owl King, Arimardan, reigned over his nocturnal subjects with wisdom, though not without flaws. One day, the crows convened to discuss their king's leadership. Among them was a crow named Sthirajivi, who questioned the wisdom of their king's strategies. Sthirajivi suggested that perhaps the owl's king would make a better ruler, believing that aligning with the owls could bring stability or advantage. The other crows, enraged by what they perceived as treachery, ostracized Sthirajivi. Banished and humiliated, Sthirajivi had nowhere to turn but to the owl's enclave. Upon reaching the owl's cave, he requested shelter. Arimardan hesitated. Could a former enemy truly be trusted? His counselors debated fiercely. Among them was Raktaksh, a wise and experienced owl minister, who argued vehemently. Sthirajivi was a crow, a sworn enemy. Trusting him was dangerous. History, he reminded, was full of examples of enemies turning treacherous. Arimardan, swayed by compassion or perhaps curiosity, ignored Raktaksh's counsel and welcomed Sthirajivi into their fold. The crow quickly gained the trust of the Owl King. Day by day, he observed the owl's habits, learning their strengths, weaknesses, and routines. When the owls slept during the day, Sthirajivi returned to his fellow crows and orchestrated a coordinated assault. Together, the crows stormed the owl's cave, setting it ablaze. The nocturnal clan, caught unaware, suffered immense losses. Many owls perished, and Arimardan realized too late the peril of blind trust. Sthirajivi's betrayal was a costly lesson. The owls had ignored the warnings of experience and the wisdom of their advisors. The king's good intentions, untempered by prudence, allowed enemies to exploit vulnerability. Moral analysis, intelligence, vigilance, and the dangers of arrogance. This fable teaches several essential lessons. Enemies cannot always be trusted. Blindly trusting someone with a history of antagonism can lead to disaster. Experience, history, and prudence must guide decisions. Sthirajivi's integration into the owl's ranks mirrors countless situations where misplaced trust leads to betrayal. Wise counsel is invaluable. Raktaksh represents the voice of wisdom and experience. Ignoring knowledgeable advisors, especially those with insight into risk and strategy, invites failure. Intelligence and foresight are crucial in leadership. Arrogance leads to vulnerability. Arimardan's confidence in his judgment, combined with his desire to act benevolently, made him blind to risk. Power without prudence can be more dangerous than outright weakness. Preparation and awareness are essential. The owl's unawareness of their enemy's tactics and their lack of safeguards ensured their defeat. Vigilance, careful planning, and contingency strategies are indispensable. Corporate reflections, lessons in trust, teamwork, and strategic foresight. The tale of the crows and owls resonates strongly in corporate contexts. A. Beware of competitors and opportunists. Just as the owls trusted a former enemy, companies and employees must be cautious of competitors or colleagues with conflicting interests. Blind collaboration or disclosure of strategic information can be exploited, resulting in loss of advantage or reputation. Listening to experienced advisors. Organizations often have seasoned leaders or mentors who foresee risks that others overlook. Ignoring their counsel, as Arimardan did, can lead to costly errors. Whether it's a project plan, merger, or resource allocation, insight from experienced advisors is invaluable. C. Strategic intelligence and risk management. Sthirajivi's calculated betrayal illustrates the importance of risk assessment. In business, threats may be external, rival companies, market changes, or technological disruption, or internal, such as poorly vetted partners. Anticipating potential risks and preparing mitigations is critical. D. Corporate humility and leadership. Leaders must balance benevolence with strategic caution. Arrogance or overconfidence in one's judgment blinds decision makers to threats. Humility, awareness of blind spots, and structured consultation with advisors strengthen leadership. E. Information security and confidentiality. The owl's vulnerability arose from sharing their routines and internal knowledge with an untrustworthy source. Similarly, sensitive corporate information, financials, product designs, or strategic plans must be protected from potential exploitation. Personal reflections, navigating trust and advice in life. On a personal level, this fable has practical applications, assessing trust carefully. Relationships, whether personal, professional, or social, must be evaluated. Blind trust in those who have previously acted against your interests can lead to heartbreak or loss. Value of experienced counsel. Friends, family, or mentors who provide honest, well informed guidance often prevent missteps. Listening to such counsel, even if inconvenient or contrary to immediate desires, protects long term well being. Preparation against unexpected risks. Life is filled with unforeseen challenges. Planning, vigilance, and awareness of potential threats are crucial, whether in personal finance, health, or professional endeavors. Avoid arrogance in decision making. Believing that one knows best without considering advice can create vulnerabilities. The humility to weigh others' input is a strength, not a weakness. Example from life. A professional might encounter a colleague who appears helpful but has conflicting motives. Ignoring the warnings of experienced mentors or team members could result in project failure or reputational harm. The story encourages prudence, verification, and careful collaboration. Corporate analogies, leadership, risk, and strategic action. Competitive awareness. As the crows exploited the owl's ignorance, competitors can capitalize on unguarded corporate strategies. Awareness and proactive intelligence gathering mitigate such risks. Advisory value. Organizations should cultivate cultures where experienced advisors and team members feel empowered to speak candidly. Their insights, like Raktakshas, can prevent costly errors. Crisis preparedness, contingency planning, risk assessments, and rehearsed responses ensure resilience against unforeseen attacks, whether in the form of market shifts, client demands, or internal sabotage. Balanced decision making. Leaders must balance compassion with caution, ensuring that openness does not become vulnerability, integrating lessons for work and life. Discernment in trust. Carefully evaluate individuals' motives and historical behavior before granting access to sensitive information or responsibilities. Listening to intelligence. Advice from knowledgeable and experienced sources must be seriously considered, particularly in high stakes decisions. Anticipate betrayal. Not every well intentioned proposal is safe. Prepare for possible risks without succumbing to paranoia. Humility in leadership. Confidence is essential, but unchecked arrogance can expose both personal and organizational vulnerabilities. Conclusion. Wisdom, vigilance, and prudence. The story of the crows and the owls offers a powerful lesson. Trust must be earned, wisdom must be heeded, and vigilance is paramount. Ari Marden's downfall illustrates the consequences of ignoring experienced counsel and the dangers of benevolent naivety. In the corporate world, leaders who overlook advisors' warnings or fail to assess colleagues' motives may face financial, reputational, or strategic losses. In personal life, trusting those with questionable intentions or disregarding good counsel can lead to emotional, financial, or social setbacks. The fable reminds us that intelligence, caution, and listening to the wise are essential tools in navigating the complexities of life and work. By valuing prudent advice, preparing for unexpected challenges, and discerning between genuine allies and opportunists, we protect ourselves and strengthen our communities, organizations, and personal relationships. In essence, do not blindly trust the enemy, listen to wise counsel, and safeguard what is important. Ignoring these principles, like the owls did, risks devastating consequences, an enduring lesson for both life and leadership. Thank you, yours Ravishankar Avadhanam.